Hello and welcome to episode 42 of the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are going to be going over the Santa Anita Pick 5 that occurred on Saturday. But first, there's several things I need you to do. First of all, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right there. And after you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when new content is coming up on the show. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at hkravitz. You can also email me hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. Again, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. Also, as you see there on the bottom of the screen, right there, you can receive a free race day blog. What happens is on Saturday mornings, I will send out to you a race day blog absolutely free. It gives you updates on the pick five sequence we're going to talk about after scratches and changes, and also some spot plays at different tracks throughout the country. The blog has been fantastic. I've had many great scores. There's no reason at all why you wouldn't want to just go ahead and sign up for that blog to get some free information, not only updates on the pick that I give you, but also on spot plays throughout the country. I've got to wear my Callaway hat today because depending on when you're watching this, I'm filming this on Sunday. My favorite golfer, Phil Mickelson, who, as usual, he makes me sweat and everyone else, but gets the job done at age 50 plus, winning the PGA Championship, the oldest professional golfer in history to win a major. I know this is a horse racing podcast, but that is absolutely amazing. And Johnny Velasquez at a pretty old age, winning the Kentucky Oaks, Kentucky Derby. Maybe 2021 is for the old guys. I don't know. That bodes well for me. So bet all your 8, 9, and 10-year-olds at the racetrack coming up. Actually, don't do that. That's probably not the best idea. But anyway, Phil Mickelson gets it done in the PGA Championship. So we're going to talk about the pick five sequence that occurred Saturday at Santa Anita. I had a lot of excellent opinions. Michelle, you helped us handicap along with Trish Smith, one of our great viewers. No one won the contest. We had a contest for free to see who could pick the winner of the last race. No one had the winner of the last race. Even though Trish Smith, who was the guest on the show, did have the 2-horse New Heat as her top choice, she didn't pick that horse in the contest. So I'm not sure if we're going to have a guest or not on our next live stream coming up on Thursday. But next Thursday, we are going to be featuring Santa Anita once again. They have 3 stake races on Saturday. They also have 3 grade 1s on Memorial Day Monday. I prefer to handicap Memorial Day on Monday with the 3 grade 1s. I have to see when the entries come out. If the entries do come out on Wednesday, then we will talk about the 3 grade 1s on Monday, Memorial Day, for our preview show. If not, we'll talk about the 3 grade stake races on Saturday for the preview show that will occur again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's go ahead and dive into the pick 5 sequence. Before we do that, we're actually going to talk about race 2 of the sequence because, excuse me, not of the sequence, but race 2 at Santa Anita, because there was a stake race there that we mentioned on the show, and it was the grade 2 Santa Maria. It was for older affiliated mares going a mile and 16th. And as you can see, as time goes by, wins the race over a very good and improved this T. As we take a look at the buyer figures, as time goes by, does what she's been doing recently, which is a high 90s buyer. Is it good enough to win the Breeders' Cup Distaff in Del Mar in November? Probably not, but she's very good. You can see this T improving from an 83 to a 97. CC was a big disappointment, dropping all the way down to an 80. And you figured the 3 here, Miss Stormy D, would get the lead. That's exactly what happened in this race. We're going to see right here. You see the 3 gets the lead, and as time goes by, sits the perfect trip, which is pretty much what you figured would happen in this race. We're going to go ahead and fast forward. You see CC there, a comfortable third. And as they hit down, this is when the real running starts. You see, as time goes by, is going to take over here, which is expected. And CC looms up. I mean, so far, everything appeared to be what it looked like on paper. You see the jock asking there on CC, while as time goes by, is not really asked very hard. Meanwhile, this T for Kento Sormo makes a run. As they say, they go 110 and 4. And right here, you see CC sort of drifts out. This T comes in between, and as time goes by, takes the lead. Right about, I would say about, right here, it looked like this T had a huge shot to go by as time goes by. But the Baffert trainee digs in, as you see Kent going left hand, shaking the reins, just could not quite get there. And as time goes by, hangs on. She ran a very good effort. This T ran a huge effort. CC, I don't know where you go with CC. CC's been very disappointing uh, recently. She was so good early in her 4-year-old year last year. She's just been very disappointing lately. We'll see what Michael McCarthy does with her next. Let's go to race 5. Race 5 was the first race of the pick 5 sequence. And the 4 horse, who I mentioned on the show as an interesting horse because of the speed. I honestly picked this horse in third, but I thought was the best speed in the race. Get on the Bus for Mario Gutierrez and Doug O'Neill wins this race. It was not a very highly rated main race. You could see the winner there only got a 70. Looking to get even, which was Michelle Yu's top pick, got second. And Cider Apple, who was Trish Smith's, our guest top pick, who I also thought was interesting in this race, came in third. Now, the interesting thing about this race, and we need to watch it, you might be wondering, why are we watching just a maiden race? Listen, if you bet Santa Anita, you have to watch these races because going forward, it's going to be interesting. What you see here is the 2, which I thought was going to show speed, sort of rated here for Alexis Centeno. As you see, the 7 horse, Undisturbed, try to get to the lead, but then the 2, Miracle of Hope, rushes up on the inside. You can see the 4, the eventual winner at 8-1, Get on the Bus, gets a perfect trip. What happens, though, is something very interesting here on the far turn. So Alexis Centeno on the 2, I don't know if he just couldn't control the horse or what, starts taking back, and you can see he's sort of sitting back there. He ends up steadying right there, which forces the 4 to go out and also forces the 8, 5, and 9 to go out. We're going to watch that again. I'm not really sure what happened there with Alexis Centeno on the 2, but you see the 2 steadies, forces the 4 to steady, and sends the 5 and 9 especially out very wide. Meanwhile, the 4, Mario Gutierrez, says, okay, if you want to just take back, I'll go ahead and get that perfect trip right off of Undisturbed. And that's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, the 2 is still on a stranglehold, and you saw the 1 and the 3 also steady back. So watch the back of the pack here. As the 2 takes back, forces the 3 to take back, the 1 takes back. There's a lot of trouble in this race. This is a race that you definitely want to write down some horses in your stable and watch for replays, because there are a lot of weird, strange things happen, mainly because of the actions of the 2 horse. We'll go ahead and move forward here. As you can see, Undisturbed, who, by the way, was Michelle Yu's top pick, gets away with a 49 and 3 half. And I thought there was a big chance that Undisturbed might be gone here. And I was about to tip my cap to Michelle Yu for coming up with an unbelievable pick. But the 7 just could not finish. And you see, Get on the Bus gets the jump on the field with the 6 looking to get even, tracking him. And really, I thought I'll freeze about right here. I sure thought the 6 was a winner. The 6 was 0 for 12, was an improved last time. I can't find any excuse at all for this 6 not to go by the 4. But Get on the Bus digs in, wins. This was a B horse for me in my personal ABC ticket, so I was okay with this win. You see Cider Apple coming up for third, but again, really had no chance because of the beginning of the race and the bobble. I would definitely put the 3 and then the 1 also in your stable. They both had to close into a very slow pace. They both also had trouble. The 1 was 9-5 morning line, La Gioioso. Michelle, you mentioned this horse had extremely slow works, and therefore I still used her as an A, but I downgraded her because of Michelle Yu's comments. So I did not single the source at all. But Get on the Bus wins at 8-1 to kick off the pick 5. Then we go to the next race. Now, this race is very interesting. And I got to talk at this race. The winner, and this broke my heart and knocked me out of the pick 5 and knocked a lot of people out of the pick 5. Maybe sometime. Well, I'll tell you what, sometime was on Saturday. But when you hear the stats, you're not going to believe it. First of all, the winner gets a 55 buyer and a very low buyer in a weak race. So you probably don't want a lot of horses coming out of this race. The final time was 112-3. What was strange about this race here was maybe Sometime, who went off at 26.7-1, was ridden by a jockey, Ortega. Ortega had not won at all at the meet. He was 0 for 28 at Santa Anita, although from what I understand, he's a pretty talented young rider, just hasn't had very many quality mounts. But he was 0 for 28 at Santa Anita. Sean McCarthy, the trainer, was 0 for 31 with his first time starters. So you've got a jockey who was 0 for 28, and you have a trainer who was 0 for 31 with first time starters. The horse did not figure, at least in my mind, at all. I really thought the 5 was very interesting for Irondale. My top pick, the 6, was scratched. So I scratched in my top pick as 5, the Irondale for Jessica Pfeiffer. I want to go ahead and watch just the beginning of the race here because again, um, Alexis Centeno had an effect on this race. He was riding the 4. The 5 outbreaks the field, which made me happy. Right here, you see Jessica Pfeiffer outbreaks the field. By the way, I just want to watch the 1 in this race. Queen's Code. I have no idea how Juan Hernandez even stayed on this horse. Unbelievable job by Juan Hernandez on the 1. Look at this right here. Ducks in, almost fell off, and still ran a pretty darn good race. But anyway, I would have liked to see Jessica Pfeiffer just go on with it right here. She didn't really go on with it. I wish she had. And that allowed Alexis Centeno to come up the inside and get the lead. You might be wondering what's the big deal. Irondale is just sitting a perfect trip. Yes, Irondale is sitting a good trip. The problem is you're going to see on the turn here, Alexis Centeno on the 4 drifts out on Count Tolstoy and lets the 3, the winner, and the Harris green colors maybe Sometime come up the inside. Meanwhile, Irondale is in the 3 path and maybe Sometime swings up the inside. And then Jessica Pfeiffer, I still thought she was going to win the race right here. Takes the lead. But you see the head of the 5 is sort of turned to the outside. I don't know what the story is there. She's on the wrong lead also. And you see maybe Sometime just goes right through on the inside and wins the race. New Soy Fett right here, the 2 horse, who, yes, is a foal to the Millionaire Soy Fett, comes third. Look out for that horse going forward, probably in a longer distance race, but maybe Sometime wins, knocks me and a lot of people out of the pick 5. Real tough beat for me there. Then let's go to the Honeymoon here. The Grade 3 Honeymoon, 1.125 on the turf, for 3-year-old restricted fillies. Glowing, I just did it again. Going Global was absolutely outstanding in this race. I don't know if she's a superstar, but I'll tell you what, on the West Coast, she's an absolute monster. She's undefeated in North America right now. You're going to see she broke just fine as the 4 here goes to the lead for Cedillo, and it looked at paper as the 5, that was Midnight Diva, as the 5 Pizzazz just sits a nice stalking trip. they're going a relatively moderate pace here. You see Pizzazz decide to go on with it as Midnight Diva just takes back into a comfortable spot. Madone, who I thought was overbet in this race, frankly, 2-1. They're sitting now 3 wide, going 22-4. That is not exactly the place you want to be. Meanwhile, going global, there we go. I said it correctly. For Flavian Pratt is just sitting back and waiting. And Golden, a horse that I liked here for to be second in my predicted bets with going global in first. That was who I picked. I picked 6-3 in this race. Just sitting back. They went 45-3 for the half, which was very fast, especially considering it didn't look like there was that kind of speed on paper. Watch the ride. This is what makes Flavian Pratt so good. He's so patient here. Watch on the 6. He could have swung to the outside and go like 4 wide, but no, he's able to stay on the inside here, find the hole that he needed, and you see Golden sort of follows going global, although had to go wider. And right here, the race is over. Nice job by the jock of the 3, Rispoli on Golden for going to the inside instead of going 5 wide. You see going global absolutely explodes. Golden does get up for second and hits our straight exact as 6-3-4. Had the try also with Midnight Diva there in third. That worked out very nicely as the exacta didn't pay anything special, of course, 15.40 for 2. The trifecta for $1 though did bump up to 72.40. Congratulations, going global is a very nice 3-year-old filly. I do not know what Phil D'Amato is going to do with this horse. I don't know if she's quite good enough to go out east and beat the best 3-year-olds fillies out east, but I would certainly go ahead and try. She is super sharp right now. She has a wicked turn of foot. Distance is not an issue. It'll be very interesting to see where they go next with going global. And Golden also ran a nice race, improving her buyer from a 76 to an 84. Race 8 was a main 50. We're not going to show the race, but my straight exact I hit again. I had 3-6 that I picked on the preview show. Again, if you're not watching the preview show, you need to start watching, folks. We give out winners left and right. Cat Bernay won at 2-1. And then Poseidon's Kid, who I thought was a very interesting first-time starter because of the breeding at almost 7-1, got second. And you look down and we see the exacta there. Where is it? There it is. The exacta paid $40.80 for 2. So I was very happy. 2 races in a row to hit the straight exactas. 1-2, 1-2. Also helped me personally in a pick 3, and perhaps you played the late pick 3. That's what I do sometimes. If I get knocked out of the pick 5, I'll play the late pick 3, and Cabernet wins that race. We're not going to watch the replay. The last race, and I talked about this race quite a bit, was a very tough 6-furlong turf race for older fillies and mares, state breds. And I thought this race went through 2 horses, Squared Shady for Edwin Maldonado, and then the 7, Rain Diva for Abel Cedillo. I preferred the 7. And what I said on this show is I just don't want these horses to battle. I was hoping one of them would go and one of them would sit. This is a perfect example of understanding early pace and watching replays going forward. Because you're going to see Cedillo get the lead. And really, I don't think this was a very good ride by Edwin Maldonado. I think he's a very good rider and a veteran. He should have taken back a lot sooner and set up for new heat. Let's go ahead and watch this race. If you needed the 3 or 7 this race, you could not have been happy early with Maldonado, who is on the 3. So you're going to see the 7 catch a little bit of flyer here and take the lead. And right here. Now look, I'm not a jockey. I know it's not easy. These are fantastic athletes, these jockeys. They're going to make split-second decisions. But right here, you can see the reins on the 7 here. It was pretty clear to me that Abel Cedillo wanted to have the lead. And I thought Maldonado could have just taken back here and sit and then come around to the outside. But instead, he rushes. You see right there with his hands there. He's rushing up the inside. And now they're both just hell-bent on going. Eventually, Maldonado takes back. You can see he can't keep up, and eventually you look back there, and he decides to take back. But now look, they've already run 21-2. That spells doom for both these horses. If Maldonado had taken back sooner and decided to let the 7 go, I think Squared Shady would have had a much better shot to win. We'll never know, of course. But Squared Shady was really never a factor in this race. Rain Diva, I actually thought ran very well, considering how fast they went. You're going to see Maldonado again is asking to try to get back in the game. Rain Diva, a very quick filly. You see the lovely Sophia there, the 8, and the winner is going to be right here, saving all the ground. New Heat, as they went a half in 44-1, which is cooking even for this turf at Santa Anita. And Rain Diva had a pretty sizable lead. And at this point, Abel Cedillo is just all in on Rain Diva. But Tyler Bays on the 2, right here in the teal, does a great job saving ground the entire way and is able to find room right here as he just splits and goes right on by as the hole opens. And you see the 7 just tire. And the 1 there got second. But right there, the 2 at 12-1, New Heat takes advantage of a big pace duel off the layoff for Tyler Bays and wins the race there at odds. You see, it was 6-1 morning line, went off at 12-1 and kicked off a pretty big pick 5 and pick 3 as well. So congratulations for Tyler Bays for taking advantage of the situation right there and getting the victory on New Heat to end the pick 5 sequence. Nice call by Trish Smith, one of our guests on the show and viewers of our show who joined us on Thursday's preview along with myself and Michelle Yu. The other news I'd like to mention, the Belmont Stakes is 2 weeks away. This is going to be one heck of a race. Mandaloun is not going. I'm a little disappointed by that. Or is it Mandaloun? I believe it's pronounced Mandaloun. Mandaloun is being pointed to the Haskell. But you're still going to have essential quality. You're going to have Rombauer, who Flavian Pratt, surprisingly to me, is going to go back on Hot Rod Charlie. Johnny Velasquez is going to get the mount on Rombauer. You're also going to have confirmed from the West Coast. You're going to have possibly Midnight Bourbon. You are definitely going to have Rock Your World coming, who I think is very interesting. Rebels Romance, who's won in Dubai and has been at Belmont for quite a while, should add some speed. Weyburn. I mean, you're going to have Known Agenda. This is going to be a really, really good Belmont race. I cannot wait. That's in 2 weeks. But again, next week, we're either going to cover the graded stake races on Saturday. There's 3 of them, or the 3 grade 1 races at Santa Anita on Memorial Day, which is a week from this Monday, depending, of course, when you watch the show. To look at my calendar, that's going to be May 31st is Memorial Day. So again, please join me next Thursday night. I'm not sure about guests at this point. I might just be going solo. We'll just have to see. But again, it's going to be a great preview show talking about Santa Anita, either Saturday's Pick 5 or the Pick 5 with the grade stakes on Memorial Day. Also, last thing I want to mention, this Friday will be the biggest Pick 5 carryover in the history of Maryland horse racing. Pimlico has I don't quote me on this, I believe $112,000, somewhere around there. Pick 5 carryover. It's the biggest Pick 5 carryover in the history of Maryland horse racing. We're not going to be previewing it on this show. I might give out a caveman pick on Thursday for the Friday Pimlico Pick 5. But if you have any interest in horizontal betting, you have to get involved into the Pick 5 at Pimlico on Friday. There's going to be a massive pool for that. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. This has been episode 42 of the Triple H Racing Podcast. I've been your host, Howard Kravitz. Take care and good luck the rest of the week, and we'll see you Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for my live stream. Good night, everyone.